The National Park Service has been in the crosshairs of the Trump administration this year. Michael Anthony visited Theodore Roosevelt National Park to see how things are going as tourism season ramps up.
From staffing shortages to hiring freezes and potential budget cuts, the department that manages some of America's most beautiful places faces an uncertain future with President Donald Trump at the helm. Now, while all the fighting takes place over in Washington, D.C., it's business as usual for places like Theodore Roosevelt National Park. More than 700,000 visitors come to the park yearly, including Ryan Murphy and his family. They came from Colorado and Iowa to explore the region and witness some amazing sights.
They're the most beautiful places on the planet. I like that they remain protected, they remain green, wildlife remains free.
Go forth and ranger on.
It's thanks to the efforts of the various park rangers that make these national parks a highlight for tourists.
And our dedicated teams here are committed to meeting the evolving needs of both our operations and our visitors while, we work to just ensure memorable, meaningful experiences for everyone that comes through our gates.
This spring, there was concern about adequate staffing for the tourism season after the Trump administration moved to downsize the National Park Service and temporarily rescinded seasonal job offers. Today, Acting Superintendent Rachel Daniels says staffing levels are similar to last year's.
Nothing out of the ordinary this year. Trying to accommodate to, folks' individual preferences and personal situations is always a challenge.
Montana Senator Steve Daines, the chairman of the National Parks Subcommittee, says the issues earlier this year have been addressed.
I worked closely with Secretary of Interior Doug Burgum, and I reached out to Doug to make sure if there were any seasonal hiring freezes to get those lifted.
However, the federal scrutiny continues on the National Park Service, which has left a bad taste for those who like to visit those locations.
It enrages me. Honestly, we go after places like this and we're not going to be able to have trips like I just got to take today for very much longer.
But for now, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum says all parks will remain open and accessible at all hours of the day, stating officials will make sure there's proper staffing available to do so. While tourists shouldn't see any drastic service changes at the parks, organizations like the National Parks Conservation Association fear cuts to the NPS budget in the Big Beautiful Bill could reduce the department's effectiveness. That bill is still being debated on in the Senate. At Theodore Roosevelt National Park, I'm Michael Anthony, reporting for your news leader.